live and local. This is Fox 7 Austin News at 9.
Tonight at 9, an emotional outburst after a former Bastrop County Sheriff's deputy is found not guilty of murder. A look at the Daniel Willis case and why the judge decided Willis acted within the law.
A Texas teen becomes the latest victim of malfunctioning airbags. Witnesses say if it weren't for the bad equipment, she would have walked away from the fender bender.
Plus, new video gives a different perspective about what happened last May when a fight broke out between rival biker gangs in Waco.
We are united in prayer for Haruka and for each other. No parent, no brother, nor sister or friend should have to face this kind of sadness, this kind of loss.
First tonight, the family of a UT freshman found dead on campus are grappling with the tragic news as Austin police continue to search for her killer.
Haruka Weiser's loved ones released a statement today through UT President Greg Fenves. He's joining investigators and promising to find the person behind the violence and bring them to justice. We have team coverage tonight on this murder investigation and more on what students, faculty, and the community can do to stay safe until this man is found.
Elizabeth Saab, let's start with you. Where are we and where are police on the investigation?
Well, Mike and Rebecca, we've learned that Haruka had left dance rehearsals on Sunday night. She was headed to her dorm across the Waller Creek Bridge, just steps from where we are standing. Police say today they tell us that she was assaulted. Her roommate reported her missing on Monday. UT police tried to retrace the steps, but it wasn't until a more extensive search of the area led to her body on Tuesday morning. And now police believe this man that, as you can see in this video, was the last person to see her alive. Today they released this surveillance video of a 6-foot-tall black man. He was caught on camera Sunday night around 11:30. He's walking with a pink or red woman's bike similar to this one on the north side of the DKR football stadium. And Austin police say Weiser had left the drama building around 9:30 on Sunday night. As you can see in this map, it's across the street from the DKR stadium. And as I mentioned, she was walking towards her dorm. And Mike and Rebecca, a $15,000 reward is now being offered for information that will lead to an arrest. You can call police with any of that information on the number you see on your screen. And you know, the words shocking and devastated are tossed around so much in our business that we've really become desensitized to them. But truthfully, that is the only way to describe how this community is feeling tonight.
We all just want to show our support.
More than 1,000 strong did just that on Thursday night, coming together in front of the Liberal Arts Building to comfort.
We are together as a community for Haruka and for ourselves.
And be comforted.
Something like this should never happen again. I mean, it's terrifying.
Janie Macklin knew 18-year-old Haruka Weiser. Both were enrolled in the dance program.
It's crazy to think that this could happen to somebody that happy and lively.
A happy and lively life cut short. Police now describing what happened to the freshman before her lifeless body was found Tuesday morning in Waller Creek.
Weiser left this building at 9:30 on Sunday night. She had been working on an upcoming dance performance. She was headed home to her dorm just a block from here.
She took this bridge through Waller Creek. That's when police believe she was assaulted. Her roommate reported her missing on Monday.
It's probably a mother's worst fear to hear that your child went missing, and the fact that she wasn't even going far, coming out of rehearsal late at night, and it can happen in 2 seconds to anybody.
And they say this man could have been the person who did it. The 6'9" black man was caught on surveillance video around 11:30 Sunday night. He's walking with a pink or red woman's bike similar to this one. He's on the north side of the DKR football stadium.
It's scary because we all go through that. We all stay at rehearsal late at night.
Scared and feeling empty.
It's going to be rough for a little while, I think, especially in the whole department.
The loss of this beautiful young dancer from Portland, Oregon. Cherished by an entire community, now being forced to say goodbye.
And as you can see, UT's clock tower is dark tonight in honor of Haruka Weiser. And Rebecca and Mike, I talked to some of her friends today, fellow dancers. They say the only way they know how to express themselves is through dance, and they will do so this weekend at the Bodies and Soul performance. It's likely there will be a tribute to her then. And as far as campus safety, well, Austin police say they are stepping up patrol here until that suspect is behind bars. And UT officials are also taking some extra steps to make sure students here are safe. Jennifer Kendall joins us live with that part of our story.
The Texas Department of Public Safety and the Austin Police Department have both offered 20 officers to help with mounted bike and vehicle patrols on campus. DPS is also conducting a safety review of the UT campus to make recommendations that could include additional lighting, surveillance cameras, and other safety measures. There are already about 150 blue light emergency phones around campus. Those phones connect directly to the UT Police Department and have a geographic location on them, which alerts police on where to respond. There's also a program called SureWalk, where students can call in to be escorted by 2 volunteers to their home or car. Because of this latest incident, the UT Police Department will now be partnering with SureWalk volunteers.
Our productivity has gone up 400%, or the usage has gone up 400% since the incident itself. So people are definitely reacting in the sense that they want this service they want to use it.
Other things university leaders are asking students to do: be aware of your surroundings. If possible, walk in groups at night. Avoid distractions like staring at your phone or listening to music when you're walking around campus. Back to you in the studio.
Okay, Jennifer Kendall reporting live for us tonight. Thank you for that. We have some other news as well. An extremely emotional day in a Bastrop courtroom as a judge announced his verdict for a former Bastrop County Sheriff's deputy charged with murder.
This afternoon, Daniel Willis was found not guilty for the shooting death of Yvette Smith back in 2014. Fox 7's Rayanne Christensen was at the courthouse when the verdict came down.
She's joining us now in studio with more. Rayanne.
Mike and Rebecca, either outcome would have sparked controversy and emotion from one side or the other. But the question comes up, what's next for all those involved?
Not guilty.
Tears and anger filled the courtroom after a judge announced a not guilty verdict for former Bastrop County Sheriff's Deputy Daniel Willis. Family members of the victim, Yvette Smith, quickly made their way out of the courthouse, some collapsing, some fainting.
I know. He murdered my daughter. He murdered her.
Oh. 2 years ago, Willis was sent to a violent domestic disturbance call. After arriving, dispatchers warned him that a woman inside the house had called 911 and said there was a struggle over a loaded shotgun. The last report Willis got from dispatchers was a gunman was at the front door. He claims seeing a shiny object that appeared to be a gun and fired.
The judge recognizes that officers are forced to make split-second decisions in tense, uncertain, and rapidly evolving circumstances. That's exactly what we expect of our law enforcement. That's exactly what Daniel Willis did, and if he had to do it again, he'd take the same action.
After Willis's first trial last year ended in a hung jury, it was decided the retrial would be decided by a judge from outside of Bastrop County.
In this situation, there is plenty of blame to go around, and there are several people beyond Daniel Willis who shared this tragedy that eventually took the life of Yvette Smith. And as I look at these facts in this situation, I see that Willie Thomas and Chris Thomas each had a large part leading up to the events of that evening.
Smith's family got a $1.2 million settlement from the county, but also wanted Willis to go to prison. The family would not comment after the verdict was given.
I knew they was going to let him walk. I knew they was going to let him walk. That's so wrong.
Attorneys for Willis say he still has his law enforcement license, but it's doubtful he will go back to the sheriff's office.
Daniel Willis is so relieved that this nightmare of a 2-year malicious prosecution is over with. He has been a political scapegoat for Bastrop County for 2 years. He's ready to move on with his life.
Now, we did also try to reach out to the special prosecutor in the case for Sanderson at the courthouse and at his office after the verdict. He said he had no comment.
After the break, almost a year after a deadly fight broke out between rival biker gangs in Waco, a new YouTube video is providing some context on what happened that day.
And later, firefighters make strides fighting a massive wildfire in northwestern Oklahoma. You're watching Fox 7 News at 9.